Hi Geminis, this is going to be your reading for October 2025. I hope everyone is having a nice month so far. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If it doesn't, check your moon or rising because you could be in that energy as well. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. How I do my readings, I'll start with the Angel Oracle guide here. I'll move on to traditional tarot and then back to Oracle at the end. Alright, let's get started. So your message. Listen deeply. Angels are sending you guidance and inspiration through your powerful and resonant inner voice. Be ready to listen to that voice now and listen to yourself. If you aren't able to hear yourself, you'll be blocking your connection to the information, insight, and guidance that will support you going forward. If you have been ignoring or avoiding dealing with something you feel that you had to do for a long time, your angels are encouraging you to stop, listen to yourself, and do it now. Your expansion and growth depend on it. If you have received challenging information recently about your life from any source, and you are unsure on whether to believe it or not, this card assures you that it is pivotal to the unfolding of your freedom and joy, so listen deeply. The whispers of your inner voice are subtle, and it can take patience and willingness to hear them. Often this voice can seem intensely honest and direct, but that's because it wants us to hone in on our truth in order to grow. Often we don't like the truth the inner voice is giving us, and we refuse to listen. But all we are doing is blocking the guidance that is coming forward for us. The truth of the matter is that your inner voice is always working in our favor, and the divine guidance is always loving and supportive. It will be direct and insightful, but won't make us feel low. If you are unsure what information is guidance and what is based on fear or ego, call on your angels to help you hear and understand the information that is rising up within. You can also invite them to clear old messages so that you can have more space energetically for guidance that is relevant to this present moment. Alright. Let me pull some cards here for you, Gemini, and we'll get started. All right. The energy is coming in hot here, Gemini, but I feel like you are kind of going through a bit of a challenging time right now, especially in maybe the beginning of October, because there feels like uncertainty, and there just feels like maybe things are changing, or maybe things are maybe not going as planned for you. That can be kind of a little frustrating here. Maybe some of you are, looking for new jobs. Maybe some of you are trying to make something happen and nothing's kind of not happening for you. So the strength card is coming out, and they're just telling you that you do have the strength right now. Stay in that strength, whatever it is that you may be dealing with or going through. You are strong enough to endure this. You do have the strength to do it. So trust that, feel that strength, especially in this month of October. It's like whatever, comes your way, you're going to kind of deal with it here. We have this Two of Swords energy, which means we're a bit at a crossroads. It's like we see two paths ahead of us here, or we might have two options. And we're not sure which way to kind of go. So what their suggestion is for yourself, and I feel like this is why Listen Deeply is coming up, because I feel like your inner voice is telling you what path to go, but maybe one is a little bit more undefined. Maybe one is not really what you thought it was going to be, but you now kind of see it as an option here. With the Four of Swords is just saying you need to rest. It's a time for rest. It's a time for recouping. It's a time for meditation. You're going to get the information through your resting here, okay? So it just feels like, again, this is a great month for you to start meditating if you need to, or maybe just having some time to yourself, to listen to yourself, to be in that quiet, to really feel what it is that you are kind of feeling, or what that inner voice is trying to tell you, okay? Because is trying to lead you in the right direction. The Four of Pentacles might be saying you're holding on to something too tightly. And this is why I think there's this kind of two paths for you here. Maybe for some of you, it's a relationship that you're like, do I go this way and kind of be single, or do I hold on to this relationship, even if we're going through maybe a rough patch right now, or kind of energy like that. It could be a job where you're just like, I don't know, this is kind of more undefined, this one is more structure, which one do I kind of want to do here? But it seems like, again, with this Four of Pentacles, you're holding on to something too tightly. Things are changing around you, things are happening, and it feels like some things are happening out of your control. So it's like, what can we do in that time, you know, to not try and control everything, but to kind of go with the wave, go with the flow here, you know, surf the wave that's coming in. If the wave coming in is pushing us in one direction, maybe look at that and be like, no, maybe I should just ride this out and see where it kind of goes here, or what's something new that I could find. But it just feels like, again, we're maybe holding on to an ideal too tightly. We're wanting to have, with this Emperor card in reverse, control over the situation. You know, it's just like we want to have this control so bad. It's like I really want this outcome to happen, or I want this to happen, and it's not really happening in that kind of capacity for you. It's like, oh, well, it didn't, but it's like, well, I'm trying to control it, you know, like maybe, you know, all of this is kind of crumbling over here, and I'm just trying to rebuild it really quickly and fix it. But I feel like they just want you to allow yourself to kind of release in this month of October for yourself, not try to control everything, especially if it's out of your own control, and kind of let go a little bit here, because it just feels like, again, things are changing, but it feels like they're changing for the better for you, but you just kind of can't see it yet. It's like a moment where it's just like, oh, in a few months you're going to be like, well, I'm glad that happened because it really pushed me in this direction, or I you know, my stomach told me to go, my inner voice told me to go this way, and so I listened to that because I had all this extra time. I had this time to kind of relax and rest and think about things. The Death card's coming in right after that card, right, and reversed, and that's just energy of you're not letting something be done. You're not letting something finish here, because it's like, no, I want to have control over it. I want to be the one that makes decisions. But sometimes the universe is coming in being like, that decision is made, it's done here. But the Wheel of Fortune is coming in right after, which means actually energy is moving in your favor right now. And again, it feels like maybe you don't believe this, Gemini. You maybe don't feel like, but I feel like things are happening that need to kind of happen here to get kind of a different result for yourself. And I think that's what the inner voice is trying to tell you. We have this Ace of Wands moment coming out sideways. This is passions, new starts, new beginnings, creativity. And when it comes out sideways, it just means the energy can go either way. So yes, we have this new beginning. Yes, we have this creative, this drive, this passion. Or it's in the reverse, and we just really feel very unmotivated. We feel like our talents or our skills aren't kind of being utilized. We're feeling like we're not in this kind of creative energy, or this is passionate energy. We might feel drained instead. But when it comes out sideways, it means the energy can go either way. So maybe you're just like, yeah, I need to rest for a week, think about things, and then I'll come back and be like, okay, now I have the drive to do this because now my tank is full, right? It's like, now I have the energy to do this here. So don't get stuck on yourself if you're having a moment where you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know kind of what is going on, okay? The Moon card in reverse is just telling me truths are going to be revealed. Whatever was hidden, maybe subconsciously for you, or maybe it is in the conscious, is going to come to light. So it's like the veil is going to be lifted for you. And I feel like this is through an emotional conversation you're having with this Page of Cups. I always see this as like a heart-to-heart felt conversation, as you see the person in the fist are having that kind of moment here. But it just feels like that. It's like you're going to get some honesty maybe from someone, maybe someone close to you. You're having a heart-to-heart. Maybe, you know, you are going through this hard time, and they're like, hey, I kind of really see you as this kind of person. You kind of maybe minimize your own energy, or you minimize your own strength in this situation, or you want your control so bad. I just feel like you're going to have that open, honest conversation with someone. But the Four of Cups is like the universe is trying to bring you in something new here, you know, bring in a new opportunity with this Cups. But we're just kind of looking at this situation, right? We're looking at these 3 cups here that we're not even seeing the new. So be open to the news, be open to the new path. Stop trying to control everything so much in this month of October, because things are going to happen that are going to be out of our control, and there's nothing we can really do about it. So it's more like, how can we pivot instead? You know, how can we maybe pivot to a new path? You're like, well, that happened, I'm going to pivot this way instead, because that's where I'm kind of leaning towards, even if it doesn't make sense yet. But that's just what my gut is telling me and what I am kind of feeling in this moment. So there's this energy here of trusting yourself a little bit more, Gemini, in October. Yeah. Eight of Wands in reverse is just telling me that it's not going to be a fast thing. It's like you're not going to be like, wake up and you're like, I got the answer right now. I know exactly what to do. And I feel like it's going to just be through these moments of stillness, these moments of rest for you, these moments of these maybe chats where you're going to kind of feel that and discover that, because it's just saying with this Eight of Wands moment, that energy is not coming in quick. It's coming in slow here. So something might be delayed, something might be slowed down for this month of October for you. Maybe you're waiting to hear some news. And again, it's just like on the delay. Maybe you're waiting to hear back from something here. You know, maybe a job interview, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's hearing back from some kind of grant, maybe it's school, maybe it's retirement. I don't know. It just feels like there might be some kind of delay here for you in that, okay? I think with this delay that is happening for you, what's going to be the kind of joyful part is like maybe you're going to have some more time with your family, or more time with kind of, you know, children here, family, parents. I feel like that's what's going to happen for you, Gemini. You're just going to be like, wow, I have more time, and I'm going to find happiness in that, spending some time with my family here, being with them. But the problem is with that is like you're kind of still worried about this kind of longevity or this kind of financial situation here for yourself. So you're like, is that going to come in? Will this job come in? Will this, you know, money, foundation, grant, schooling come in here? And it's just kind of stressing you out a little bit, and it's kind of causing a lot of your kind of mental headaches, or maybe you're going to have to seclude yourself a little bit from your friend group here, or you can't really go to all these celebrations or parties because you're just like, I'm waiting to hear back from that if I'm going to have enough money to kind of do this here. So we have the Two of Wands in reverse. It feels like this energy of like going back to the drawing board and be like, okay, what else can I kind of do here in this kind of month of October? You know, is there a different avenue for me? Is there a way that I can, you know, follow what it is that I want and still kind of get this money here? So it just feels like it's going to be this kind of up and down moment where like, yeah, it's great. I'm having more family time. You know, I'm having more times with the people I love, my chosen family, you know, my blood family, whatever it is. But you're finding joy in that. But you're also just like, and a little bit in the back of my head, I'm feeling a little bit like, okay, but when's that money going to come in? Now it's starting to kind of stress me out or worry me. But again, it's just this energy of kind of surrender and listening to yourself. This month is going to be kind of the key for you. It's really realizing like, you know, shit happens sometimes, Gemini, and you just can't kind of control everything, even though we want to, right? Trust me, I'm a Virgo. I want to control everything, so. Yeah, it just might be making you feel a little bit low with this kind of Page of Pentacles in reverse. You know, some seeds we planted, something we really wanted to happen, didn't really work out the way that we wanted to, and that's totally okay. But don't lose your worth or lose your value in that, especially if, you know, say this is like losing a job, or this is like not being able to find a job, or this is, you know, you're like, oh, I thought this would be a financially stable avenue for me, and it's not. Whatever that is there that you're stressing about, and in that sense, just don't let it kind of demean your own worth, because again, it feels like this energy where it's out of your control, okay? So don't let it affect you, your own value, your own worth here, because yes, you deserve financial stability. Yes, you deserve, you know, happiness and you know, a stable life. But sometimes it's just like, again, like I said before, shit happens. With this Knight of Wands, they really want to use you to kind of use that as fuel. You know, by the end of the month here, I think it's going to be like, okay, I'm working on my passion, my creativity. I'm going like, you know, full speed into that instead. Full speed into kind of my passions, what it is I actually kind of want to do here. Yeah, sometimes things were just not meant to work out. You're very close to achieving your goal. So that's what I'm saying. Even though all these things are happening right now and the Strength card is coming out, the Wheel of Fortune is saying the energy is still moving in your favor. So just trust that. Even if you're feeling like right now things might be, again, crumbling, or you're feeling like you're not sure or where you're kind of going. You got the Love, Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries, which I'll read for you, Gemini. The Hadrians were believed to be beacons of pure, divine, unconditional love, who see love in all people and situations. As a result, they can find it hard to have boundaries, interdependent, and healthy relationships, because they only see the unconditional nature of those they meet. The lovers of the cosmos, they dive in fast. They're here to learn how to love in separate bodies, to learn to love self first, and then establish healthy relationships with others. To remember that the love they seek is already within them, that they do have all the love on their own. The message of this card is to review the ways that you may need to establish healthier boundaries. Perhaps you're in a codependent relationship in which you may be losing your sense of self. It's common for starseeds to dive deep into relationships, particularly with those who feel safe and familiar at a soul level. Perhaps you're in a relationship in which you give more than you receive, or perhaps there's a certain vitality to it, and you're always unsure where you stand. This card is assigned to do a relationship review and see what energetic agreements you have made consciously or unconsciously, and to acknowledge that if there's any relationship in which you feel anxious or powerless, in which you don't feel like it's safe to relax and just be you. To assess if there are any places of inadequacy that you've used a relationship to soothe or cover up. Do you lose yourself in relationships? If so, how? How can you develop a deeper love for yourself? And I think this is kind of resonating with this energy of this Nine of Pentacles, right? It's like when things don't go our way, how do we see ourselves? Do we see ourselves like we did something wrong? Do we see ourselves as bad when something happens out of our control, that we deserve it, right? Here, and it's just kind of being like, how are we kind of talking to ourselves through all this? Because again, it feels like good things are happening for you, Gemini, but it's just not feeling good for you right now, because maybe you're like, hey, I kind of want more of that control right now, and it's just kind of not working out that way. But that's okay. All right, Gemini, this was your October reading. I hope it helped.